Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's webinars hosted by the Organization Development and Change Workforce Education and Development Program at Penn State. This is a part of our monthly Lunch Hour webinar series. My name is Masha Ruimel, and I'm a doctorate student in the Workforce Education and Development Program at the Pennsylvania State University. I will be moderating today's webinars along with my colleagues Asa Alharji, who is also in the same program as Jose Sandoval, a PhD candidate in the Learning, Design, and Technology program at Penn State. For today's interactive webinar format, please use Zoom chat feature. If you have any questions during the presentation, type them in the chat. The Q&A session will be following at the end of the presentation. Our Master of Professional Studies in Organization Development and Change is designed for professionals seeking the skills and knowledge to lead organizational change effectively. Additionally, we offer master's and PhD programs in the workforce education and development with concentrations in human resource development and organizational development. Our program has established a continuous monthly free webinar series featuring experts from around the world. Today, we are excited to present a novel framework of socially responsible AI in people analytics, presented by Dr. Yu-Ling Chang, our presenter today. Dr. Yu-Ling Chang earned her PhD in Workforce Education and Development and Consular Education at the Pennsylvania State University, specializing in human resource development, organization development, and career development. Now, without further ado, please join me in welcoming our speaker today, Dr. Yu-Ling. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Masha. And good afternoon, everyone. This is Dr. Yu-Ling Chang. Also, I go by Abby, connecting from Taiwan, Taipei. So actually, good morning to me. And it's also as Masha just shared that I actually am the alumna of the Workforce Ed program, and also previously part of the Workforce Ed OD&C as well as the PDN, and I used to host this webinar before. So it's really honored. Really an honor to me today that I'm coming back here at this webinar as a speaker. And also, I'm very excited, and I think it's also one of the evidence that our program is very globally and internationally connected, and we have this outreach to all the network and professionally help our program students and as well as all the part of the member in this community to grow and to learn and continuously. So today, it's my pleasure to share this framework of the socially responsible AI for people analytics with you. And this is part of the work that I published this year in HRDR, one of the most influential journal with Dr. Jay Ke at Jackson State University. So, yeah. Just a little bit about myself. So, as Masha introduced, that actually I'm alumna from Penn State Workforce Education with a focus in human resource development and organization development. And currently, I'm serving as an assistant professor in the International Human Resource Development Program, IHRD, and also adjunct professor for the educational psychology and counseling at the National Taiwan Normal University. And my doctoral dissertation was using XAI, expandable AI, to forecast the future of work by 2030, got awarded by ATD and AHRD, both these two HRD-related organizations for the best dissertation in 2023 and also 2024. And my work mostly focused on artificial intelligence, the use in empowering individuals and organizations and help them to thrive and excel as human beings. And my topics including this socially responsible AI, SRAI, and also to achieve SRAI, one of the most important techniques is the explainable AI, XAI, that I will introduce today as well. And also AI, most importantly, for the best interest for humans. So for human good, I frame it as a people AI. So these three main topic and main area is the focus of my research interest. And for my background, I listed here. So my educational background, also my industrial background in semiconductor industry and financial industry, as well as my passion lies in this advocating for XAI, SRAI, and also people AI I listed here. And for your future reference, the slides will be shared after this webinar. So just feel free to contact me on LinkedIn or just shoot me an email. I will be very happy to be part of your resource and at your service if you need it. And then, so today's topic is about SRAI, especially in context of the PA, People Analytics. And this work was published in HRDR this year. And so you can see the citation. Usually we have the search in citation, even just published this year. And I would say that for this topic, especially how to use AI responsibly and accountably, is also kind of the area or the focus that recently getting more and more attention. And so here I provide the link that you can read the full article if you are interested. But if it's too long read for you, then actually we are also got invited by the SAGE publication, their blog. So we also contribute to the blog with probably 100 words of the summary of the entire article, which may be a simple read for you and to get the idea of what we are proposing here. So why this SRAI, socially responsible AI, is important? Actually, the most famous records or the not the scandal, but what happened actually, it can be traced back to 2015, that Amazon, they use AI to do the resume screening for their applicants. So of course, there are a lot of people want to join Amazon, and using AI can save a lot of time for HR professionals doing this daunting work for selecting the resume. However, so they applied this AI tool from 2015 to 2017, and until 2018, it was reported this AI actually is biased against the female applicants. And what happened is actually because when they train the AI, they use the data which are the candidates they hired in the past 10 years in their company. So the population itself is predominantly by males. So not surprisingly, AI then learned the pattern, and eventually they deliver the result that recommending more males than female, and even like giving the penalty to those features that the words the keyword they capture from the resume that regarding to the female category, the gender. And also, if you read the article or news, you will see a lot of headlines like this. So Facebook, Google, LinkedIn, and even Uber, all these tech company, when they apply AI, it was found that they have the discriminatory result against like gender, age, and even ethnicity. So Elon Musk even having this public statement that ask people to stop the development of AI for a while until that we figure out really think through the risk, and also having the regulations being able to regulate this rapid development of AI. But however, as you all know that the story after this is they launched his own AI company. So, well, I said that AI, artificial intelligence, is that the blue pill or red pill for HRD. So if you watch the movie Matrix, you will probably having the impression of it. So yeah, AI is nowadays is more accessible. It's kind of a daily use, and also it's around us everywhere. And I would say in our field in HRD, I personally observed the phenomena that people can be divided into three types of people in terms of their attitude toward AI. So I think the first type of people usually is like when they see the news, like I just show you those headlines that having the scandal about how AI is biased, how AI have been discriminatory and also cause some bad impact to people and to the society. They will be very excited and also being very much against AI and not willing to even understand why this failure of AI happened, or understand AI, just refuse to use AI, understand AI, and they kind of having all these bad impressions about AI and just stay away from this, even though it's continually advancing and continually being more and more accessible in our daily life. And I think the second type of people is kind of on the opposite side, that they are very much fantasize about AI. They think AI can fix everything, and just like those fictional fictional technology in like movie like Iron Man, they just bring Iron Man and AI can do everything, and they forget about actually there is a dark side about AI. There are challenges actually existing, and also the limitations of the capability of current AI development. So I think it's also because of the lack of understanding about AI. And I think the third type of people is what I want people in our field to be, and also that's why my passion lies in advocating this fair understanding about AI. So both the opportunities and challenges brought about AI, and understanding why it happened, and figure out how we can deal with it and use AI in the right way, in a responsible way, and use the accountable AI for facilitating our field, advance our field. So either turning on the black side, taking the blue pill, I think AI should be a red pill that we should take. And so for this particular work, because socially responsible AI is the area and even the field that nowadays is emerging, but there is not absolute, like very agreed definition of SRAI, and not mention SRAI in the context of PA. So this work particularly, we are trying to frame SRAI, giving integrative comprehensive framework for SRAI. And how can we do that in the context of PA? So just come back to our topic about socially responsible artificial intelligence, empowered people analytics. And this is a framework towards sustainability. So these keywords are the elements to decode when we try to answer this question: what is SRAI in the context of PA? So there are a couple of the concepts here. So the component includes AI, sustainability, and also the context, which is the PA. So when we try to understand SRAI empowered PA, we can use these keywords and understand their interaction between each other, and also their relationship between each other. So PA and AI itself, it connect just naturally, and we see a lot of solution right now using AI to power our people analytics process. So this is AI powered PA, or we say AI enabled PA. And at the same time, for sustainability, there are a couple of the famous frameworks, including corporate social responsibility, CSR, and also environmental, social, and governance, ESG, as well as the UN, United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs. So if you see SRAI, the current literature, existing literature before our work, actually they are kind of scattered. Sometimes they pair AI with CSR, example, pair AI with ESG or pair AI with SDGs, but there is no integrative word to frame what is SRAI about. So this is what the purpose of our work, or intent outcome of our work, trying to having this integrative framework for all this concept all together to frame what is SRAI is about. At the same time, in the context of PA, then we can advance the PA, AI-powered PA or AI-enabled PA, accompanied with the idea of SRAI to achieve this SRAI empowered PA. So this is what this work about. So we did the integrative literature review for all these keywords and as well as the combination of these keywords. So, so as you can see here, for AI-enabled PA and SRAI related literature, there are quite amount of them, and from all different fields of the journals that you can see. So there are journals from HR, from business and management. At the same time, there are journal article from engineering field, technical field, and also the sustainability field. So for SRAI, as we see, we can like divide them into the separate component and we combine them together. So I will do it one by one. So first of all, part one, I will talk about AI-enabled PA. So AI-enabled PA, what is PA exactly? People analytics. So PA is a growing field that either use people-related data or apply data-driven insight to inform people-related decisions in order to foster the evidence-based decision-making as well as driving the innovation. So previously, you may hear about HR analytics, but actually PA is even broader, because if you use people-related data to inform business decision, then it can include also business analytics. And if you keep it in, put it in even broader implications, broader perspective, then even inform the workforce analytics to the national level. And previously, I looked up the term for people analytics and to see the trend when people search it in Google. And then you can see some related terms, including like HR analytics, workforce analytics, human capital analytics, and talent analytics compare with people analytics. And people analytics in this blue dot, this trend chart, you can see it's all the way surging until the recent years. Actually, this surge began with from 2008, and which is the time that when big data boost. So as you can see, the other terms become a little bit weaker compared to the search of people analytics. I think the reason why is the data and also the use of the big data and giving driving the insight from big data. So this also the way or the key that when people analytics naturally click with AI, because AI basically is powered by big data, is fueled by big data. So if we look at AI and trying to understand AI, we can see how AI is developed or how AI is processed. So at first, it began with the data that we collected with greatest amount that is hard for human to process. So that's why we need machine learning to do it. So the data sets collected was divided into two sets of data. So one set used for the training, the machine learning model, and then the machine learning model generate the algorithm. And then the other set of data was the testing data, which is the new data was applied to test this algorithm and check the accuracy in the prediction or the outcome of the machine learning. So with the accuracy evaluation, we can see if the algorithm is viable or not. If it's not performing well, then we can come back to do the fine tune of the model and until we get the robust result. So here is the general idea of how AI works. However, if we want to like further analyze it, we can even divided the process, break down the process. So the first part of the data, we can see when we implement the data into the model, then it's the data phase. And when we try to generate the model and also having the algorithm, it's the modeling phase. And then finally, we get the result and apply the result for our decision making. And this is the application and decision phase. And finally, actually, usually when we develop AI for AI developer, maybe the models ends here, but few people and there's been few focus on this discussing about the implication. So after the decision was applied, what are the impact to people? What are the impact to the society? And even what are the impact to the environment? I think it's actually the core of our field to discuss this part of it. And then to deal with if there is any negative impact, trying to mitigate it. If it's positive impact, how we can optimize that. And if there are some consideration that we haven't had when we try to develop AI with the best intention, but it comes out with the unexpected consequences, how we can prevent that when we even from the very beginning, when we design the AI algorithm or design the tool, AI applications. So I think we can divide it, the AI application in PA into these four distinct phases. And all in each of the phases, actually, we discuss a lot about how AI can go wrong. So I think all this negative findings or impressions about AI, it's kind of also here and there everywhere, like people talking about all the data privacy issue, data security issue, or data was not representative enough, or people talking about the bias in the models and also the black box problem, not transparent of the model itself, or there are the accuracy, very low accuracy of the AI proposed result. And if we try to use the phases to categorize all this problem, it make it more clear, and it can kind of more comprehensive understanding about how AI can go wrong in the process and informing the people analytics. So this is also how we conduct this work. And another point about why this SRAI is important, actually, there are regulations now more and more they are keep the development of AI. So first of all, the data part, the data regulation in such as GDPR, they do have the regulation in terms of the right to explanation. So if you use AI, this kind of automate decision making tool, then it's the entity who use AI for this kind of decision impact on people, and they need to have the right to explanation for who will be impacted. They need to explain why AI come to this decision and giving the fair, justifiable explanation for that, so that people can take it. This AI can be applied fairly. And the other one is the EU AI Act. So it's actually implemented and reinforced in this year, 2024, August already. And so the previously EU also proposed these guidelines and assessment for trustworthy AI, and how they define trustworthy AI, how AI is trustworthy. It has to be follow the three core principles, which should be lawful, should be ethical, and should be robust. And at the same time, for EU AI Act, they categorize the applications for AI by the level of risk. So in our field for HR, for example, the example from Amazon, they apply the AI in the applications, in the job application and evaluation. So this is categorized by EU now in AI Act is the high risk AI systems, and it has a lot of the fine for if you use it wrong. So it's kind of very high risk area for AI application in it falls into the region of PA. And at the same time, for the others, if you use the biometric data for PA or use PA for social scoring, so this is even a higher category of the AI risk in AI Act. So this all are the evidence for why SRAI is important. So AI can go wrong, and also it can have a lot of consequences. And nowadays, the legal compliance requirement also follow up this development for AI, and we need to really focus on how we can use AI responsibly and how we can implement not only AI in the field of PA, but implement prioritize SRAI, socially responsible AI in our PA. So part two, previously we discussed in part one about AI-enabled PA. The second component is actually the sustainability frameworks. So the first sustainability framework, CSR, the most famous model is this Carroll pyramid. So as you can see that the responsibility that the social responsibility that the society expect the corporates, the business to fulfill, including this level, 4 levels, can be categorized in hierarchical level. So the very basic one is economic level of the responsibility, so it can make profit. And then the second layer is the legal responsibility. They need to be compliant with the law. And then the third level will be on the ethical level, that it should be conform with the usual human value, human rights, and also be fair and to expected by the society. And then also on the top of that, the greater society, it should be beneficial to at the philanthropic level that is for improving the quality of life and also benefit to the entire human community. So for CSR, it also very important component is about the stakeholder view. So what this value is expected by the stakeholder. So you can see for the very basic level, for economic level, it's by the internal stakeholders, and demanded by external stakeholders, the business, they need to fulfill the legal requirement. And then for the ethical level is expected by the society. And finally, for the greater society is desired by the broader society overall. So if you see all this hierarchical level from the bottom to top, so from the basic level, you can see the affected stakeholders is actually from the small scale to the higher or larger scale. And if we're taking this Amazon example again, and you can see there, so what kind of level of responsibility they fulfill? Actually, if they predict the future potential candidates which will deliver the good performance just as their current employee does, then yeah, definitely using the previous 10 years data to predict, and they just find out, identify those in candidates that's very similar that simulate their current employee, then economically they cannot make any wrong. It's just having the as good performance as they currently have, right? So they does attain the economic level, but at the same time, it obviously violate the legal level, which is the equal employment opportunity law, and also the other act for the disability and so on. So for legal level is not fulfilled, and not mentioned for the ethical level that we ask the application should be fair, should be just, and should be not violating the human rights. So ethical level, no. Of course, the even higher level for the broader society, no. So for the current AI development, there are two emphasis on this very basic enough level, and ignored this legal, ethical, even philanthropic level. And the other sustainability related construct or on the framework, including ESG and SDGs. So ESG stands for environmental, social, and governance, which are the new kind of extension from CSR, which focus on social parts, and extended by including the environmental part and also the governance part. And governance is more like the approach to attain this responsibility in terms of social social and environmental requirements. And for SDGs, 17 developed by United Nations, you can also map them into these categories. So our work is to combine all this idea together, combining AI, CSR, and also ESG and SDGs together, which is thinking AI with all the frameworks with sustainability to come up with the concept of SRAI. So this is the innovative, the novel framework that we framed for this SRAI, combining AI with the frameworks for sustainability. As you can see here, we have the economic level, legal level, and ethical level, philosophical level of requirements included in CSR, and we extended with ESG with the environmental level. And we also mapped the 17 SDGs in our framework, as you can see here. And with this framework towards sustainability, we can see actually the requirements for AI application in SRAI should be functional, should be lawful, should be ethical, and should be AI should be a good AI citizen and should be sustainable, right? And then for the stakeholder views, we can see here, so actually including from the profit people and even to the planet. And on the other side, you see that is SRAI in our framework, actually we include what? Include the robust AI, lawful AI, and ethical AI, which proposed by the EU, the trustworthy AI. So we encompass all of these principles that trustworthy AI include. But even with even beyond that, we also include the human-centered AI with AI being a good citizen, and also sustainable AI, using AI for our environment protections. For example, actually also the climate change as well. So for example, now actually there is a typhoon approaching Taiwan, and actually it's very weird for fall this season. We got quite a lot of the typhoon visit Taiwan. So I would say that previously we usually compare this forecast for how the typhoon will be going on the pathway, combining all different countries' forecasts. But nowadays we include AI as well in the forecast and predicting the pathway and also doing the comparison. So this is also the example for how AI can be used to help us in the way at the environmental level. So if you look at the stakeholder, you can see from the bottom to top, the scale of the affected stakeholder is also from small to larger scale of the stakeholders and impact. And if we look at from the time, how long to what term, long term, this AI effect affect. So you can see that for the economic level, actually it's for the short term way. But if you go beyond economic level, extended to social, legal, social, and even to the environmental, then you can see the effect is actually extended to more long term in terms of time. So that's how we come up with this shape. If you compare this with the Carroll CSR pyramid, it's actually upside down. So for us, we want to emphasize that for the economic level, also nowadays SDGs have a lot of emphasis here, but actually it's only the very basic level with a smaller scale of the impact in stakeholder, at the same time only short term of the impact. Extend to environmental, the stakeholders and also the time of the impact become larger and larger and longer. So we put more emphasis on the higher hierarchical level. So that's why we come up with this inverted pyramid for our SRAI framework. So the final part of it is combining them, all of them together to frame SRAI and inform how we can move from AI-enabled PA to SRAI-empowered PA. So how we actually operationalize it, SRAI, the framework that we just framed, and making actionable guide for how we can implement SRAI in PA and making it from AI-enabled PA to SRAI-empowered PA, we have the analysis framework here. So the stakeholder, as usual, and as always, and also the objectives, which are the values, the requirements or consideration that we have for levels that we just discussed about. And also, if AI cannot attain all these objective values, what happened? What are the causes? And according to the causes, how we can have the solutions to address all these causes. So for the stakeholders, informing from sustainability frameworks, we can also divide them into the primary stakeholders and also the secondary stakeholders. So the primary stakeholders, including the shareholders in the company and also the employees within the company, the customers, and also the AI developers and so on. And then for the broader secondary stakeholders, the community, the environment, the government, the media, NGOs, and even the country, right? And for objectives as the levels that we just informed from our SRAI framework, so economic level, legal level, ethical level. So in ethical levels, all this like fairness, equality, and discrimination, non-discrimination, also respect for the human rights and human agency, autonomy, and transparency, explainability, and also safety and protection people from harm. These are all included in the ethical level, and these are the finding the result we have from the review of all the literature we collected. And for the philanthropic level and also environmental level objectives we need to attain. And then if we try to analyze what cause AI cannot attain all these value and requirement we want SRAI to be, and it can also divide it into the phases of AI. So in the data phases, it can be the problem with data, so the accessibility of data or the representation of data, and also the data bias and the misinformation in the data, the noise in the data, so use the wrong data basically, and also the data privacy and data security. All these issues, the causes can be categorized in the data phase. And in the modeling phase, usually the modeling fail to give the accurate results. So it's the measuring errors and also the bias algorithm, and also the AI itself is a black box AI. Then we cannot find out what's going wrong with the AI inside the AI black box. And then for the application, so maybe we use the correlation and infer it to causation. It's always kind of the common mistake we make. And also the human agency. So if we too much rely on AI to make the decision, then give up our human role or the management role of ourselves, then it's actually AI taking away the human agency part. And then malicious use of AI, the bad AI, maybe AI used for like deep fake and also AI for the malicious weapon. This is the kind of the bad cause for why AI goes wrong when we apply AI in the application field. And then also on the implication phase, we need to consider not only the economic part, but also the social part and also the environmental part. And finally, how we can address all this problem to make AI actually attain all the social responsibility that we want it to attain. So for the data phase, we need to do some intervention in our data pre-processing phase process, and also ensure the cybersecurity. And for the modeling phase, we need to prioritize using SAI. And for the evaluation, we need to do the post-hoc again for the outcome having the robust outcome or the certifiable accuracy level. And then also for non-technical solution, we also have, for example, using the AI governance or regulation, as we just introduced, like the AI Act, and also the guidance for trustworthy AI or the data regulations, and also legislation and also education is also part of the solution that we can help to help AI affect us, impact us in the positive way. So here, based on this analysis, so with the domains, stakeholders, objectives, and also the causes and the the means, the ways to address it, and the themes that we just identify, and also the requirements. We come up with a set of 32 guidelines for HR professional to implement SRAI in PA. So just taking some of the examples. So for the stakeholder view, then we need to involve all stakeholders in all the development cycle of AI. And also we need to openly communicate with them and understanding their requirements or their expectations. And also for the economic level, we need to ensure the robustness and also the accuracy of AI. And also for the legal level, we need to have the compliance professional to ensure the AI-enabled PA is compliant, and also to make sure that we ensure those AI solutions comply with related laws, including GDPR and also EEO, AA, and so on. And then the fairness, equity, and non-discrimination, of course, we need to do the examination on that, and also respect the human rights and make sure our human exercising our human agency in decision making. So this human on the loop, human in the loop, and even the human in command, these are the procedure that we need to make sure that this AI didn't violate human rights, and also fostering or promoting the human agency in decision making. And some of the causes, for example, we can use data preprocessing to make sure our data is free from bias, and also make sure the data we collected is accessible and also representative, and so on. And so here are the set of the 32 guidelines, and you can take a look after this presentation, as we will share these slides with you after the presentation. So one thing that I want to emphasize is that the Black AI problem, because the non-transparency actually cause many of these problem and requirements cannot attain. And the solution to this, as we cannot know how AI comes to its decision, and then it's hard for us to having any intervention into it. So the solution to it is XAI, explainable AI. And how can we do it? How can we promote the trust in AI by explaining how AI comes to its decision? So there is a technical way we can do it. For example, we can use the black box AI. However, we try to simulate the same result as black box AI do by combining the technical method with clustering, and also the linear method, to understand what kind of the features or variables or factors was factored in the decision of AI with to what extent, and then to understand that all these features is considered by AI with justifiable reason or not. If it's not justifiable, then maybe we should involve the human in the loop to try to do some intervention to modify our AI algorithm and models. So finally is the comprehensive solution for how we can attain SRAI. So in all the process, all different phases in the development of AI, we can do something. So in the data phase, we can try to examine the training data, and to see if it's biased, if it's representative, if they having any errors of data, if the AI use the right data to predict or to apply to the final decision that we intended. So this is a data phase. We need to examine the data in a critical way, and also make sure the data privacy and security at the same time. So to examine if the AI developer, they have the reasonable right, certifiable, the data privacy and security procedure is also one of the things that we can do in the data phase. And then in the modeling phase, as I said, that we can apply SII, trying to understand, to unbox the AI, that what the features or variables was considered, and trying to make sure that AI is doing the right thing in their decision-making process. And then finally, for the application decision phase, we need to evaluate the outcome and to make sure they are not biased, they are fair, and also to evaluate their reliability and validity at the same time. So accuracy, I think, is very basic, but after that, usually we can also evaluate the outcome by trying to see the distribution of the final recommendation or final result in AI result and try and make sure they are not biased. And then finally, for the implication phase, I think we need to devote a lot of efforts into the research of trying to anticipate what kind of implication we'll have, or follow up what implication have it had after the AI was implemented, and then having a documentary or the directory of all this implication in one place, in data in one place. So after that, then we have some reference to consider before we design the new AI solution. So with this collection of all the implication, it's also will consume a lot of efforts. And I know, like in AIT, they are doing this like AI risk database. So they collect all the scandals or the fail cases of AI and trying to divide them or categorize them in different risk level. And it will be very informative for the future development of the new AI. So here are the list of my references for today's presentations. And thank you for your time. Thank you for listening, and feel free to ask questions if you have any.
Hello, Dr. Yu-Ling. Thank you.
Yes.
There are some questions. There is one in the Q&A.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to read it for you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
let me
let me do
see if
that.
I can see them.
Mhm. Okay.
Should I stop sharing? All right.
No. It's fine. The question
Mm-hmm.
is, I will just read it as it is. It is
Mm-hmm.
what, according to you, need to be a role and involving of governments and authorities in effective development, different forms of social responsible AI.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you for the question. Actually, it's what I'm doing here in Taiwan. So now we are applying for a project with Taiwan government's sponsorship for develop the process. As I just shared in my last slides, that we have the distinct process for the intervention examination for the development of AI. And so for the data phase, we can ask the AI developer to provide the data they use for training the model and to examine if the data is in the right use, if the data having any bias, if the data is free from error. So for the modeling phase, we can kind of decode their models with XAI techniques. So we will need their source code for their AI algorithm, and then trying to figure out like what kind of factors was factored in their AI models and if it's justifiable. And then for the result, we need to do the outcome evaluation for the accuracy, robustness, and at the same time, if this bias is fair. And then finally, the implication. I think it needs a lot of the research to collect all this possible implication to the society, to the people, to even the environment, and then evaluate this AI development, this AI application or solution, if they have certain extent of risk or certain extent of the implication can possibly affect the people, environment, and so on. And then we can evaluate and give some suggestion. So think about it just like when you do the research, you need to go through the IRB process for the for the examination. So we are trying to promote it with our government to having this IRB before AI development.
Okay, thank you. That is another question. And I hope your answer was suitable. If not, you can ask addendum question in the chat as well. Another question we is what are the limitations of the use of AI in HRD or organizational development?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there are a lot of this limitations. So as we identify in the causes of AI, let me see if I can bring this up. Okay, I cannot share, but yeah, if you see like oh, thank you. Okay. So I think this map can answer this question. For example, for the data phase, so data accessibility for HRD and OD, usually you want to collect data, and this data are people related. So there will be a lot of regulations and consent we need to get from the person, and also you need to ensure your data security and privacy procedure can conform with the data regulation. At the same time, you need to get all the consents from the person that the data was collected. So this is part of the challenges for us, especially this data are related people is more sensitive, and also there is a lot of consideration we need to think about. And also, yeah, it will also affect the representation of the data. What if only part of the representation of data is accessible, but the other part of the data is not accessible? Then it will affect your the entire population of your the training data. And if it's not representative enough, it cannot encompass all possible people that will be affected in your original training data, then your data may contain the bias. And so the data part is here, and privacy and security level should be very high for people-related data, of course, and then measuring errors and algorithmic bias and so on. So I think the major problem is the black box AI problem. Now it's very difficult to solve, but SAI is part of the solution. Now is the rising field to address it. And the other thing is, I think it's more about the use of AI, that people need to be educated, or at least being aware of this can happen, that AI cannot replace our human agency, and also don't use AI in the wrong way, like in the wrong decision, like even use just correlation relationship, but you use it for causation applications, or you use it in the wrong way, in the even like illegal way, like deepfake or misinformation and so on. So all these are the challenges that can happen when we use SRAI in AI in the field of HRD and OD. And basically because the core of our field is people, so all this become more challenging for us regarding the use of AI.
Thank you for answering that question. The next question is how can AI in people analytics help achieve sustainable goals effectively? And with sustainable goals, it is the sustainable goals, as you know, for 2030.
Mhm. Yeah, thank you. So, okay, I will share it again. So I think for our field, as I said, the main focus is about people. So if you see the framework, profit, people, and planet. So profit is more for the business part. So people analysis, of course, is associated with the business performance. So I think this part, of course, in the PA is attainable. And our course people, so for all of this from legal, ethical to philanthropic, I think this goal is also attainable. But for the environmental part, that I think PA played relatively last role, as it's kind of beyond people. So for goals related to at this environmental level, I think is something that is hard for us to reach. But below this, I think all these goals can be achieved by PA.
Okay, thank you. And I think we have two more questions. One is the next one is what are the essential components of the socially responsible AI framework tailored to people analytics?
Mhm. Um, so essential component. I think it's kind of also related to our previous question, right? So I think in this SRAI framework, the people analytics focus on the people, right? So and also usually we use the PA in organization, so it also help with the business performance and business development. So I would say that PA is relatively focused on the framework below this line. So including the people part, the profit part, and probably is more relatively last to attend to the planet part.
Okay, thank you. And the last question is, what methods can be used to identify and mitigate biases in AI models used in people analytics?
Yeah, that is a great question. So as I introduced that we can do in all different phases of development and in AI, and if we use AI in people analytics, that in all different phases, in each phase we need to do something to try to mitigate the bias. So for the training data, we need to have very carefully examination to see original training data if they already encompass those bias. If they have, we need to like make it free from bias. And then for the modeling phase, we can figure out what the feature was considered by the AI. And then if the feature is justifiable, it contains some bias in the feature. For example, when I was working in the industry, we developed AI for AI resume recommendation tool, and then use SAI, we figure out their features was automatically configured by AI, which are the keywords in their resume regarding gender was considered. So after we found out using SAI, we found out that, then we use human intervention, just forced to take out all the keywords regarding gender in the resume. They can be considered to giving the rating for the final recommendations. So this is also one way to eliminate the algorithmic bias algorithms. And then bias in the final outcome, I think we can use some examination for like distribution for fairness examination. Actually, yeah, there is a fairness metrics that you can apply for those maybe disadvantaged group or minority group, and then we can examine if the fairness metrics can reflect if this group is rather having the equal opportunity or not. If it's not, then they cannot pass this fairness metrics. Then we need to come back to figure out what's the cause of it and do some human in the pool, human on the loop, and even human income and intervention to mitigate that.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Yu-Ling. On behalf of our OD&C, WFED, Workforce Education and Development Program, we hope you enjoyed the session today. If you did not get the chance to ask questions, please send us an email and reach out to the presenter directly via email. We will provide the email addresses as well. For the future webinar, we would like to hear your feedback on today's webinar. So please take the survey using the link in the chat box. Our next webinar is about organization development and change management, top trends for the future by Professor Dr. Williams Rodwell, Eileen Saballero, and Farhan Sadiq on December 6, 2024 from noon to 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Registrations for all events are free and can be found on our website. You can also find us on our social media platforms such as Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter. Again, thank you for joining today's webinar, and we hope to see you soon. Have a good day and a good night to our guests from other time zones.